Even though there are a lot of governor modes, fortunately only a few of them will be very relevant. The two most common modes that you'll see during normal operation are manual and LFC. If a unit is in manual, that simply means that the user regulates the output by changing the megawatt set point. The only thing you need to be careful of is you need to be aware of the unit minimums, its operating minimum and maximum, to be sure that you stay within those windows. If you're in a situation such as a restoration or an island condition, you'll also want to be sure that the amount of load in your system will match the amount of generation that you're asking for. The other mode that you'll see is LFC, or load frequency control. When a unit is in LFC, that's its automatic mode of regulation. So what that will do is, as the system changes, as the load changes or as other generators are dispatched, these units will respond automatically to ensure that the ACE stays at about 0. For operating units in automatic control, you'll want to be sure that you use LFC and not the AGC mode in Cascadia. If you wish to take a unit offline, there are two ways you can do it. You can simply trip its output breaker, but that can cause some shock for both the unit and the system. So to take a unit off in a normal way, you can switch the generating mode to off. The unit itself will automatically switch to the REL mode, which means release, and it will ramp down at its ramp rate and then automatically trip offline. So to take a unit off, just take it to off and it'll take care of the rest. If you're in a restoration condition or an island event, you might be asked to put a unit in res, which is the isochronous mode, meaning the unit is shifted to a zero droop condition. When a unit is in res, it will automatically regulate its output up or down to maintain the frequency at 60 Hz. And we'll see an example of that in just a minute. So right now I can see my Mount Vernon unit is online in LFC, which means it will automatically move wherever it needs to go based on system conditions. So if I want to shift this unit to manual, first I will put it in manual. I'll see that my mode turns blue, telling me that I have made a change. And I want to reduce its output to 200 megawatts. Now what I need to be aware of is the operating minimum for this unit is 160. So as long as I give it a set point that's greater than 160 but less than 400, that's fine. So I'm going to hit apply. I'll see it initially shift back to its old values, and then I'll see now it's switched to manual and 200. And it has a ramp rate of 80 megawatts per minute, so it'll take it just under a minute to get there. Now I said that the units in Cascadia, there's no way in the simulator to designate what types of unit they are. However, the unit characteristics have been set to match their unit type. So in this example, Mount Vernon is a combustion turbine, so a ramp rate of 80 megawatts per minute is realistic. So unless there's a step in the instructions or the operating guide, these ramp rates are set to realistic values, so we should probably leave them where they are. So now I see that my unit is coming down. So kind of a way that you can look at this generator control window is everything above this point is related to, well, almost everything above this point is related to the frequency and megawatt control of the unit, and most of the things down here are related to the voltage and the VARs of the unit. So currently my automatic voltage regulator is in auto. 98% of the time you're probably just going to leave that in auto. With that unit in auto, it's looking at whatever this kV set point is. If you were to switch the unit to manual, you would also have to change the megavar set point to equal its current output, or else you could have disastrous effects on the system. These limit values, the minimum megavar limit and high megavar limit values, even though they have a box around them, those are numbers that you cannot actually change. So right now this is telling me that at this megawatt set point, or at this megawatt output of 200, my minimum megavar, so the maximum number of megavars that the unit can absorb, is 172. Its limit for how many megavars it can supply to the system is 224. So right now at just about 200, I see that I've still got about a 24 var band in there. These bottom three, the stuck governor, deadband, and governor droop, you probably won't be dealing